Hi guys, welcome to today's show on hanging out with the big boys in the profession. So today we have a learner sick to interview. Okay, stay tuned as we join the learner sick. Alright, come with me.
The name is Akinlolu T, Kehinde, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, by the grace of God. What else do you want to know about me? Very good. I got called to the bar in 1986. So that's, we're now in 2022. That's 34 years. No? 36. 36 years post-call. And I belong to the great centennial class that has produced great men like MB Adoke, former Attorney General of the Federation, Sir Damian Dodo, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Duro Adeyele, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Solomon not a Komaro. I can't remember his other name, but quite a number. I think as at the last count, my class has about 70 senior advocates.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, we have a member of the class who is a Justice of the Supreme Court as we speak. So many in the Court of Appeal, so many as Chief Judges, Presiding Justices of the Court of Appeal. So I would say I am privileged to have been allowed to be a member of that great class. We've also produced a governor, Sir Celestine Mejia, former governor of Rivers State, was in my class, my tutorial class actually. You know, yes. For me, I have not ventured out of the mainstream legal practice. I've not done any other business apart from legal practice, and with particular emphasis on litigation. I'm a courtroom lawyer. I enjoy it. I enjoy the banters, I enjoy the research, I enjoy talking the big grammar, the small grammar, watching the demeanor of the court watching my own demeanor, watching the demeanor of the witnesses and all that. So I've had a great time with the legal profession. I got elevated into the NABA in 2013. That means by next year I'll be 10 years in the NABA. And because as I said, my gratitude is to God. My gratitude is to my nation that has afforded me all the opportunities. And of course, the legal profession. I'm indebted to the legal profession because I don't think I would have been more fulfilled than being in this profession. So in a nutshell, that is who I am by the grace of God. Yes. Very good. Very, 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 very good question. In 1980, when I was going to go into the year that I would do my school certificate, I had an old boy of my school, St. Patrick's Grammar School, Ibadan. It's a boys' school, a Catholic school, who was in Jos, University of Jos. And he came home on holidays with the University of Jos t-shirt, U of J. And just before then, I had read a book on Socrates. So my intention was to go and do philosophy in Jos. I picked the JAMB form. In those days, the school will bring the JAMB forms to the school. You will fill. Then you go and submit your form at the JAMB office. You do your exam. If you pass, they send you a letter of admission. It was as seamless as that. So I had a sister who was working in Evans Publishers, Sister Tolu. Our office is on the way to the JAMB office in Ibadan. If you know Ibadan very well, Dugbe. So let me stop by and see my sister. At least I know that anytime you get to our office, you'll have free Coke, biscuits and all that. So I went to our office and sister said, Aburo, that's my younger brother. Where are you going? I said, I'm going to JAMB office. You want to go and submit your JAMB form? I said, yes, that's where I'm going to. She now said, let me take a look at the form you want to go and submit. Sister looked at my form. Number one, you want to go to University of Jos. Who will be coming to visit you in Jos all the way from Ibadan? Then you want to go and study philosophy. Are you out of your senses? She started shouting on me. How can you go and do a course that at the end of the day, you'll be a liability, you won't be able to feed yourself, you won't be able to feed your family and all that? Without my consent, without my input, my sister picked her Tipex and removed University of Jos, removed philosophy, and filled law, and also filled University of Benin. And I said, sister, why University of Benin? She said she was editing a book for the then Dean of Law of the university, Professor Wangboje, Irene Wangboje. I still remember that name very well. And that anytime she asked us to come to Benin for meetings or what have you, she will use that opportunity to see me. And that she also has a number of friends in that university that she can ask to be checking on me. I wasn't happy with that turn of events at all. So I said, I just told myself it's long through that has brought this wahala on me now. So I will have just gone to submit my form quietly. By next holiday, I'll be all over Ibadan with U of J t-shirt, with, But that was how God designed it. And I did the JAMB. I still remember very, very, very well. I did very well. I think my average was 81%. Literature and English, government, BK, English, Got to our post office box, got my letter of admission, and went to University of Benin. That was how I found myself in the university. And that decision to go to the University of Benin has been a turning point in my life, because it was in the course of my university education that I met my present wife. We've been friends for over 40 years. She also was in that university. She was in the School of Medicine. She's now a director with FCT Health Services. She's a consultant ophthalmologist. And, and a number of other very, very good and lasting friends. I remember these folks in my class. Dikpo Kweshe, SCN, we were in University of Benin together, we were classmates. Same year, we left at the same time. Rolando Taru, SCN, was in my class in the university, SCN. Marceluru, SCN, and so many. From that same class, 1981 to 85 of the University of Benin. So that is how it has been. We thank God.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Very good. What I tell people is, you must enjoy what you are doing. When we started litigation, yes, we needed money. We needed the exposure and all that. But we were enjoying doing it. So that is very key. If you don't enjoy litigation, I will advise you that as early as possible, because the field is so wide. It's so wide. Branch off to something that you will enjoy doing. Do you understand? I know somebody recently who was in one of the topmost law firms in this country. I won't mention names. And she came to me that she's tired of litigation, too much work and all that. And she's gotten a job as a legal officer with one of the telecom companies. That one, she doesn't get to work before 8 o'clock. And by 3, she has closed. And most of the time, she's allowed to work online and all that. So that's the sort of work she likes. Instead of this one that you have to read, get your law report, get your citation, look at Law Pavilion and all that. She's not cut out for that. So she's leaving that firm. I say, what? That firm that if they put up an advert that they're looking for a counsel, you have hundreds of people trying to get in and you are getting out. And I said, are you sure you're going to be happy with where you are going? She said, yes. And I said, okay, I wish you well. So people must determine what makes them happy and fulfilled. I can't see myself working, just signing files or it won't. If I don't go to court in 1 week, I'm not happy. Even when my juniors said, oh, okay, don't bother yourself, we can go and do. I said, okay, I'll come with you. I will announce and allow you to take over. You will do the matter. I just announce, oh, please, my Lord, I seek your indulgence to allow my colleague to do this matter. You understand? Why? Just enjoy. Like I'm traveling out of jurisdiction on Sunday just for emotion. I have a lawyer in that jurisdiction who filed all the processes for me. And I said, okay, you don't need to bother. I said, I will come. I want to even see the environment, that environment, and so that is just it. Yes. Yes. There's one particular case that each time I remember it excites me. I'm happy about the outcome. It's a case that I did pro bono, a criminal matter. These chaps, they are probably in their 20s. They got arrested in Kaduna State. I'm coming from Lagos. And they told me that they actually committed the robbery when I got into the matter. I wasn't involved in the trial. So they had been convicted and sentenced to death before somebody said, take these processes to Mr. Kendi, let him see what he can do. When I read through that brief, when I read through the process, my first impression was that there was just no way I could get them out. But looking at it again, I saw one point. And that point is to the fact that at the point of arrest, at the point when they were arrested, they were taken to a police post because there's a village near where the incident happened. They were taken to a police post and they made statements. From that police post, 3 days later, they moved them to the state capital. And you know what happens with the police? They got them to make confessional statements. And based on the confessional statements, they were convicted. No witness was called. The victims of the witness and all that, their addresses and their names were in the proof of evidence, but they were not called, which is, of course, the discretion of the prosecution. So I looked at it. I said, what do I canvass in this sort of case? Because conviction for a matter of that nature could be by confessional statements, direct eyewitness evidence, circumstantial evidence. The judge did a perfect job. He tied all the loose ends and everything. But I was able to see from the records that they made a statement. Immediately they were arrested. And that statement was not tendered. So I went on appeal. Argue it so with all the passion in me. The Court of Appeal said yes, it is desirable that all these statements and every piece of evidence recovered from them in the course of the investigation should have been tendered. But the non-tendering of this statement is of no moment. It's not fatal to the case. I said, okay, no problem. I thanked the Court of Appeal, carried my papers to the Supreme Court, and argued it again. And the Supreme Court agreed with me that the prosecution is under a duty to tender every piece of evidence that is recovered from the accused, especially in capital offenses, in the course of the matter, that they have no choice. It is not for them to determine which of the evidence should be tendered. And I remember very vividly, late Chukwuma Ene was in that panel. And they of course, they could. They will always know that they actually committed the offense and all that. I remember his lordship said, Kehinde, your clients are lucky this time around. They may not be lucky next time. We can see they committed this offense, but the law must take its course. And so the judgment was set aside, and they were discharged and acquitted. Yes. And today, those two gentlemen are changed. They've been changed completely. In fact, one of them is a pastor today, and the other one is doing very well. They still get in touch with me. Why I was so passionate about that case was in the course of my taking the instructions, one of the mothers came to my office. As I said, it was a matter I did pro bono because they couldn't afford to pay. That woman, when she was traveling to Jos, because they were moved from Kaduna prisons after conviction to Jos prison, while she was traveling to Jos to go and visit the son in the prison, after the chap had been convicted and sentenced to death, she had a motor accident that affected her spinal cord. So by the time we finished that matter in the Supreme Court, she was already on the wheelchair. So that made me to be more passionate, and I prayed and did all I could do. Gave it all. So that's a particular matter that each time I remember, I feel fulfilled that God made me to be a lawyer. Thank you so very much. That's a burning topic, and it's a topic on the front burner. My take is that if we want to retain our younger members in this profession, we must be seen to be putting our legs in the shoes they are wearing. And what do I mean? Lawyers in big cities like Abuja, Port Harcourt, Lagos, Enugu and all that, the big cities must be well catered for, the younger lawyers, if we want to retain them. I've had instances, and it's so painful, it's unacceptable to me as a person, where lawyers claim that their remuneration is 40,000 a month. What do you want to do with 40,000? I don't think any lawyer post-youth corps in any of these big cities that I've mentioned should earn anything less than 120,000. And that was inclusive the principal providing accommodation or money in lieu of accommodation. Because the way I run my own life, not just my practice, I try to put myself in the shoes of the other person. If these young lawyers are my children, will I want them to live on 40,000 naira a month? Even my security men don't earn 40,000 naira a month. Right? Domestic staff. Don't pay them 40,000 naira a month. What are you going to do with 40,000 naira in a month? You are expected to clothe, you are expected to eat, you are expected to pay transportation and all that. You know. So the seniors, with respect, we should start looking inwards and start treating our younger lawyers as our own children. What will you want your child? What will you want for your child? You understand what I'm saying? If you want the best for your child, you should give the best to somebody else's child. Don't take advantage of people just because you think they don't have a choice. And at any rate, we are products of grace. You are a senior advocate of Nigeria today. You are a senior lawyer today because God has been gracious to you. Be gracious to other people. I want to say it without any fear of any contradiction, that it is ungodly for you to put anybody under your practice and you won't pay that person well. And you go around with the excuse that, after all, in my own time, nobody paid me. After all, I'm exposing them I'm making my library available to them. I'm mentoring them. You want to mentor somebody with an empty stomach? What sort of mentoring is that? You know? So we should take a cue. I want to say that we have some very excellent seniors in this practice and in this town. One person that stands out. You know, I don't need to patronize anybody. I don't need to flatter anybody. One person that stands out in this town, and I know there are so many seniors who are even richer, who are even more exposed, who have more resources than him, is Chief Kanu Agabi, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Why can't we also take a cue from him? Even if you can't do as much as Chief Kanu Agabi is doing, why can't you do something similar or close to what he's doing? We can afford it. Chief Kanu Agabi gives free accommodation to as many lawyers as will approach him in his complex. And I understand he feeds everybody in that complex every Friday free of charge. So, and that has not reduced him. And in fact, the prayers those people will be praying for him will continue to enlarge his coast. What I'm saying in essence, my brothers, is that I'm talking to my brothers, the elderly ones, is we should stop keeping everything to ourselves. We should take joy, we should take delight in the progress of our juniors. We should be delighted that they are well kept, that they are happy, that they can see the future in the profession. Because whether we like it or not, we have a saying in Yoruba land that it is what you do that you will be remembered for. So make sure that you are planting good seeds so that when you are gone, people will remember you for good seeds, for the good seeds you have planted. Because you are not going to be here forever. Who is going to be here forever? A number of us are in our 60s, close to 60s, some close to 70 and all that. Getting close to the bus stop for the train to take you out of the system. Yes, my advice to them is one, they shouldn't lose hope. And two, if you are not fulfilled in the practice where you are presently, there's nothing stopping you from moving on to another office. There are vacancies from time to time. But again, you must have something to add. You must have some good value to add to the practice. You must have developed. For instance, we have a policy in this office. Before we take anybody on, apart from our own internal interview stages, we send you to some of our friends that we can trust their sense of judgment. And because of the poor quality of the product, nobody wants to take on any junior that will not add value to his practice. A number of serious firms are not willing to engage anybody that has less than 2-1. That's the threshold now. That means for those who are coming, they must start early and be serious so that they can come out with a good grade that will be attractive. If you come to this office and you have a 2-1, we'll take a second look at your process. Even if you don't have a vacancy, we'll try and see if we can create one for you, because we know that you have something positive to add to us, not just making the numbers, So I will encourage them. If where you are is not adding value to your life, they are not interested in your career progression, personal development and all that, you move on. You move on, son, you move on. You move on.
Thank you so much.
Then finally, I also advise that the younger ones should, as a matter of policy, deliberate policy, identify mentors. You must identify. I have a mentor or mentors. There are some matters that you bring that will come my way and say, oh, I'm a senior advocate of Nigeria, I'm almost 40 years post-call and all that. That even if I won't give you the names and the particulars, I will ask, okay, I have a matter of this nature, what and what and what and what and what. You understand? Then you must, and your mentor must not just be somebody who is knowledgeable in the profession. You must pick a mentor that has character. There are so many people without character that when you mention their name, it's that one. Do you understand? You must take your time. A judge, a retired judge told me once that, look, SN, do you know that the way you discuss us, we judges, that's the way we also discuss you. And one of them said there are some SNs, if they greet you good afternoon, they'll go and look at this window. Is it truly afternoon? Because of character. Do you understand? So pick your mentor so that you can grow. He can share his experience with you formally and informally. He can allow you into his life so that you learn from him. It's very, very important, because our profession is a profession that is built on reputation, not just as I said, not just deep knowledge of the law, but more of character. Anybody can go to court and speak all the grammar and all that. But character. Can you be trusted? Can the clients trust you? Can the court trust you? Can your colleagues trust you? Do you understand? There are some people, all that I need from them is a phone call. My brother, this matter, I understand you are in the matter. We will meet and we'll sort it out amicably. you go and sleep. But there are some that will call you like that. They just want to have a feel of where your mind is going or your defense, so that they go and wait for you to block you. Do you understand? So we have the good and the bad and the ugly, but stay with the good so that it can be good with you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. No problem. No problem.
At least giving us the privilege to learn from you.
Thank you.
This is the learner seat, AT KEHINDE San of Nigeria. You've heard from him, and I'm sure we've learned one or two today. So guys, see you next week. On behalf of the team, we'd like to present this to you.
Thank you so much.
As a token.
Thank you
For your hard work and making service in the profession.
I'm grateful.
Thank you so much.
I'm grateful.
Okay, so guys, thank you for staying tuned. That was with AT KEHINDE, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, and we've also learned, about the practice from him. So see you next weekend as we'll be bringing on board another Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Stay tuned. See you. And don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. Bye. And particularly, if you have any question you would love us to ask the Senior Advocate, please feel free to type them in the comment section. See you next weekend. Bye.